Just days before Christmas, gunfire shatters another quiet community. Tonight on Our News.
Head of the Families of All Murdered Victims organization, Candy Gibson, is remembering that man gunned down last night near Fort Charlotte. Stay tuned to Our News tonight for more details.
Also, from social media to the courtroom, a Bahamian-born online personality charged with intentional libel, accused of defaming two public figures and now facing possible jail time. Plus, a diplomatic fallout. Caribbean leaders calling for urgent talks after the U.S. moves to limit entry from two CARICOM countries, while the region says it was caught off guard. Then in our news at 7:30, U.S. strikes, visa restrictions, and a diplomatic dispute. Caribbean leaders at odds over who's to blame and what it means for regional unity. Our News, live at 7, starts right now. Welcome to Our News, live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kendino Knowles. The country's murder count climbed overnight after a former Democratic National Alliance candidate was gunned down as he worked an event in the quiet Fort Charlotte community early this morning. Police say the incident happened around 2:30 and it was shot-spotter technology that detected the deadly gunfire in the area of the victim. Joshua Williams caught up with his distraught brother and family of all murder victims CEO Candy Gibson.
Just days before Christmas, Mario Ducky Lockhart was gunned down while working an event early Monday morning. Officers arrived at the scene before 3 a.m. where they found an unresponsive man suffering from gunshot wounds. Emergency medical services were called and pronounced him dead. Today I met one of Lockhart's brothers at the Family of All Murdered Victims headquarters in Nassau Village. He wanted to remain anonymous. During an emotional interview, he told me how he always looked out for his younger brother Ducky.
He born September the 22nd, I born September the 24th. But only me and my mother have 7 children. And me and him, 2 days apart and 2 years old. I love my brother.
Here's what police say unfolded. Witnesses told investigators the victim was approached by a gunman in dark clothing and a ski mask. He opened fire before running from the scene, fatally wounding the victim. Family of All Murdered Victims CEO Candy Gibson says the victim was well known in the Nassau Village community, regularly assisting the foam team at their headquarters.
But man, I know Ducky, personally, we have conversation, we stop and we talk, we touch each other. I think he's one of my favorite person. A very good human, a very nice person. If he asks me to, he's a community builder because he's help, he's give. He's not a mean person.
And with this community suffering such a loss, Gibson is renewing her call for young men to put the guns down.
You know what, you have siblings for no one to come take their siblings' life. This is very senseless in our country and it has to stop.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks a lot for that, Josh. Meanwhile, National Security Minister Wayne Munro is now addressing the death of a man who died in custody in the Fox Hill police station last week. Police say that incident unfolded shortly after 10 o'clock Thursday morning as officers went to the cell block to escort the suspect to court to face burglary charges. His family identified him as 35-year-old Lashiko Pratt. At the scene last week, Assistant Commissioner of Police Anton Ramming told reporters that the suspect resisted arrest. Officers allegedly telling them he did not wish to attend court, prompting officers to subdue him. While he couldn't get into the particulars of the case, the National Security Minister said the entire matter was caught on camera.
The event is captured on camera. We address issues like that by putting cameras in police stations, by buying body-worn cameras by police officers, by this Minister of National Security making it plain to the public that you can record police officers. We complain when people escape. We complain when the police prevent people from escaping. I really, on behalf of ordinary police officers, would say we ought not try to put them in a position where they're damned if they do and damned if they don't, because it will affect their morale.
And Munro also responding to concerns after reports a convicted killer was released from prison and later seen in the community without families being notified. The minister says while the situation may be emotional, the reality is that inmates are released from prison every day, including those who serve time for serious crimes such as homicide, armed robbery, and sexual offenses. The minister was speaking on the sidelines of the PPP signing for the Pinewood Gardens Community Center at the ministry's headquarters on John F. Kennedy Drive today. Monroe adds the rehabilitation remains a critical part of the country's crime strategy, and any allegations of harassment involving released offenders will be investigated.
The public must know that you don't lock away people till they die. That does not happen in any system. So they will be back out. If anybody says somebody is harassing them, I didn't get that impression. But if that's the suggestion and it's reported, it will be investigated. But 98% plus of the persons in BDOCs will be released.
2 men behind bars accused for the rape of a 25-year-old woman in a Carnival cruise ship stateroom. Prosecutors allege that Anton Flowers and Sejuan Radius, both of Detroit, Michigan, raped the woman on December 15th on Carnival Cruise. According to a police report, the woman went to the men's cabin where she had consensual sex with one of them. She fell asleep, and when she woke up, another man was reportedly having sex with her without her permission. Flowers faces a single count of rape by himself, while he and Radius are charged together with raping the woman. Radius is also accused of abetment to rape. They were not required to enter pleas to the charges when they stood before Magistrate Abigail Farrington, and bail was denied. They're expected back in court on March 26 to be indicted. And social media personality Brittany Harris facing intentional libel charges after she allegedly made defamatory remarks about 2 public figures in videos that were published on Facebook. The charges stem from posts that were made in 2024. The 34-year-old is accused of making a defamatory post about Minister of Energy and Transport Jobeth Colby Davis in October and another about popular defense lawyer Beyond Ferguson in April. Harris, who lives in Canada, was arrested on the charges when she returned to the Bahamas last week. She denied both allegations at her arraignment before Assistant Chief Magistrate Cara Turnquest DeVoe. Her bail set at $5,500 for each case. She's allowed to return to Canada, but is expected to check in with police in Hamilton, Ontario as part of her bail conditions. Her trial, expected to begin on February 25th, she could face up to 2 years in prison if convicted. Caribbean community leaders urging a quick resolution to the United States' decision to prevent or limit the entry of nationals from 2 CARICOM countries from entering the North American country. A statement released by the regional body said the Bureau of the Conference of Heads of Government of CARICOM noted with concern the December 16th proclamation imposing partial entry restrictions on nationals of Antigua and Barbuda and Dominica. While issuing that executive order last week, U.S. President Donald Trump cited concerns about those countries' Citizenship by Investments program. The CBI program allows foreign nationals to obtain a passport in exchange for financial investments. The Trump administration said both nations have offered CBI without residency. But it's a claim Antigua and Barbuda's ambassador disputes. Responding to that development, the CARICOM Bureau went on to say in their statement that they're also concerned the Trump administration's decision was taken without prior consultation. And they also highlighted the potential adverse effects on legitimate travel, people-to-people exchanges, and the social and economic well-being of small states. All right, we've got much more to get to tonight, but for now, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Quintino, and happy holidays to everybody out there. Windy conditions on the outside right now. Temperatures in the mid-70s, 74 degrees, with some east-northeasterly winds, and they're really blowing 23 miles per hour, and they're gusting to almost near gale across the northern islands. Feels like temperature is at 72 degrees. Temperatures right now around the Family of Islands. We are in the low to mid-70s across the northwest Bahamas and Freeport, Grand Bahama, Marshall, Babaco, all 72s there. 75 Alistown, Bimini. Nickel San Andros, a pair of 74s, Great Harbor Key, and here in the capital. Governor Sabi Luther, 76. Central Bahamas, 75 in Kemps Bay, Georgetown, Exuma, as well as in Port Nelson, that's in Rum Key, and Coburn Towns in Salvador. 77 in Black Point, the Exuma chain. Arthurstown, Cat Island, 74. 78 in Deadman's Key, and then we pick up mid to upper 70s across the Southern Islands. 79 in Duncantown, Ragged Island, a string of 77s. Colonel Hill, Cricket Island, Delectable Bay, as well as in Abrahams Bay, Miguana. Massey Town in Agua, 79, and our very good neighbors to the southeast. Happy holidays to you down there. 78 degrees is what it's actually now. Satellite and radar composite, frontal boundary now across the central Bahamas. That one ushering in a few isolated showers along its boundary, but behind that we have a very tight pressure gradient, and that's producing the very windy conditions across the islands. We expect near gale to gale warnings across most of the northwest and central Bahamas, continuing through the rest of the evening, and then by tomorrow, the southeast Bahamas should see some strong winds. We also have a wind advisory posted for you, so make sure you take the necessary precautions. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Coming up in sports, the always competitive year-ending event on the local tennis scene lived up to the expectations once again. We'll tell you all about it in sports.
The best Christmas.
Every year, car theft in the Bahamas rises. Thieves are getting smarter and faster. Is your car a target? Compact vehicles are at risk. Don't become a victim. Simple steps can make all the difference. Lock your car. Invest in anti-theft devices. Park smart. Protect yourself. Stay alert. I am PC 4392 Trayshawn Ferguson. Stay vigilant. Report suspicious activity. And let's create safer communities together. Learn more by visiting theroyalbahamaspoliceforce.org.
Too many suffer in silence. Too many suffer in silence. But silence only protects the abuser. Your feelings are real. Your safety matters. It's time to break the silence. If someone is hurting you, speak up. We will listen. We will help. I am Police Constable 4286 Sinead Douglas of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Let us build safer communities together.
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Mark Nutt. Let's do show. A pair of new champions were crowned at the Giorgio Baldacci Open Nationals to conclude an exciting 2025 for the Bahamas Lawn Tennis Association. In the men's draw, Gerald Carroll defeated Michael Major Jr. in straight sets 7-5, 6-love to win his first title at the senior level. Carroll, who is headed to the University of Louisville, controlled the final after a tight opening set. Major, the second seed, currently competes for Howard University and finished as the runner-up for the second consecutive year. Carroll's title run included a semi-final win over top-seeded defending champion Denali Nottage 6-2, 6-4, while Major advanced by beating fourth-seeded Jackson McTaggart 7-5, 7-5. In the women's draw, second-seeded Simone Pratt reclaimed the national title she last won 2 years ago when she defeated 14-year-old Addison Monroe in straight sets 6-3, 6-4.
Dominic Bridgewater and Rashad Davis had season-high outings over the weekend as their teams continue a push toward the postseason. In the NM1 League, Bridgewater poured in 25 points and a season-high 10 assists to lead Falls Basket to a 111-98 win over St. Valier. Meanwhile, in Pro B, Rashad Davis finished with 16 points and 7 rebounds in the Colorado's loss to Toulon.
Coach Young and Ole Miss continued to dominate their non-conference schedule, while Antonisha Moultrie got her shot and made the most of it. 14th ranked Ole Miss opened play at the Cherokee Invitational with an 86-57 win over Old Dominion in Cherokee, North Carolina. Meanwhile, the Ohio Bobcats fell to St. Louis 80-74 despite a career night from Moultrie. That'll do it for our sports. Stay tuned to our news at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as a dramatic interception at sea. The U.S. seizing an oil tanker off Venezuela just days after the president announced a blockade on sanctioned ships. This as a historic policy shift in the U.S. after the president orders cannabis be moved from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3. What it means for medical research straight ahead. Plus, a stunning break from regional solidarity as Trinidad's Prime Minister saying CARICOM is not a reliable partner, defending U.S. visa restrictions. When our news returns.
I'm a victim. Simple steps can make all the difference. Lock your car. Invest in anti-theft devices. Park smart. Protect yourself. Stay alert. I am PC 4392, Trayshawn Ferguson. Stay vigilant. Report suspicious activity. And let's create safer communities together. Learn more by visiting.
Every week, one show drives the national conversation. On the Record. We challenge the issues, ask the tough questions, and dig deeper. We bring in the experts, the decision makers, and the voices that matter. Our discussions shape policy, influence change, and inform the public like no other. Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. and again on Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Catch us streaming live on Facebook or catch up with your favorite episodes on our YouTube channel. The conversations that shape the Bahamas start here, on the Record.
Conflict doesn't have to end in chaos. Before it escalates, take a breath. Step back. Choose peace. Listen to understand. Respectful conversations lead to real solutions. I am Sergeant 3599 Johnson of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, urging you, let's talk it out, not fight it out.
From 2017, one show has set the standard for current affairs in the Bahamas, and that's On the Record, one of the longest running current affairs shows on RTV. We've been the place where newsmakers come to talk. We've sat down with leaders in government, cultural icons, industry leaders, and international experts. From breaking news to in-depth analysis, our conversation sets
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. The United States has intercepted an oil tanker in international waters off Venezuela. U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem confirmed the operation days after President Donald Trump announced a blockade on sanctioned tankers entering or leaving the country. Maritime risk firm Vanguard identified the ship as the Panama-flagged Sentries intercepted east of Barbados. A video shared on Noem's social media appeared to show a helicopter approaching the vessel with the ship's name visible on the hull. Noem said the U.S. will continue targeting the illicit movement of sanctioned oil, calling it a source of narco-terrorism funding. Venezuela has denounced the seizure as international piracy. Vessel data placed the ship north of Curacao last Friday, marking the second such interception near Venezuela in recent weeks. Meanwhile, China is accusing the U.S. of violating international law after U.S. officials intercepted that tanker in international waters. Beijing's foreign ministry says arbitrary seizures of other countries' ships are illegal and reiterated its opposition to unilateral sanctions. U.S. and maritime security sources identified the vessel as Bella 1, a tanker on the U.S. Treasury's sanction list for its links to Iran. The ship was reportedly empty and approaching Venezuela and had previously moved Venezuelan oil to China and carried Iranian crude. The interception, the second in a weekend, raised new questions about global supply and sent oil prices even higher. And President Trump ordering the biggest shift in U.S. drug policy in decades, directing the Attorney General to move cannabis from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3. The White House says cannabis would still be illegal federally, but the change would allow more medical research and to ease tax rules for state legal dispensaries. Trump says the move responds to years of requests from cancer patients, people with seizure disorders, and veterans with chronic pain. Advocacy groups praised the decision, while some Republicans warned it could normalize drug use. Public polling continues to show most Americans support legalization. And a war of words inside CARICOM tonight after Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar said the regional bloc is not a reliable partner at this time and accused CARICOM of supporting what she called the Maduro narco government. She also defended the U.S. right to impose new visa restrictions, saying every state must accept the consequences of its foreign policy. Antigua and Barbuda Prime Minister Gaston Brown fired back, saying Trinidad has benefited the most from CARICOM, including more than $1.1 billion in regional exports last year, and rejected claims its leaders bad-mouthed the United States. Antigua says the community remains stronger when it acts together. Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was December 22nd. Then in our news at 7:30.
Several Defense Force ships are saying goodbye to the Nassau harbor as they're being prepared to be transported to the Netherlands for repair. Stay tuned to Our News tonight for more details.
It's all coming up when Our News returns.
Too many suffer in silence, but silence only protects the abuser. Your feelings are real. Your safety matters. It's time to break the silence. If someone is hurting you, speak up. We will listen. We will help. I am Police Constable 4286 Sinead Douglas of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Let us build safer communities together.
Do you think you know domestic violence? Think again. It is not just physical, emotional, financial, or sexual abuse, and it doesn't discriminate. If you feel intimidated, harassed, or manipulated, you're not alone. The Bahamas Crisis Center and the Domestic Violence Task Force are here. I am Sergeant 3992 Tamika Neely. Let's break the silence on domestic violence. Let's create safer communities.
Hey man, stay tuned for the Charlie Bahama Sawyer Boy Christmas Special. No, the Sawyer Boy Charlie Bahama Christmas Special. I slept on it. And I heard it and it was like Sawyer Boy Charlie Bahama. It sounded better ringtone like. I thought we agreed the other way, the Charlie Sawyer Bahama Boy. Yeah, but what about the Sawyer Boy Charlie Bahama show? But because you think with it. You know, alphabetically it go better this way. Yeah, but if we put our age.
Hey, this Kalika. Catch the Charlie Bahama Sawyer Boy or the Sawyer Boy Charlie Bahama Christmas Special coming soon.
On this day in Bahamian history in 1988, Carnival Crystal Palace Resort and Casino opened on the Cable Beach Strip, marking a new era of luxury and entertainment. The property, originally the Cable Beach Hotel, later made way for the multi-billion-dollar Bahama development when it was demolished on October 1st, 2008. And in 2017, Sir Hartman Longley was sworn in as president of the Court of Appeal, taking over from Dame Anita Allen in a brief but historic 7-minute ceremony. To learn more about the events that shaped the day that was December 22nd, head over to ournews.bs. All right, 2025 is quickly drawing to a close, and over the past 12 months, many stories have gripped this nation. From the death of a sitting MP to a heated by-election and massive protests in the busy downtown district that saw the government at odds with unions. And who can forget the wildfires that ravaged the Family Islands and the late-night blaze that left dozens of Victoria Court residents homeless? There was no shortage of drama this year, but there were also moments that inspired the nation and brought hope to islands like Grand Bahama, where several investment projects finally got off the ground. You can take a look back at the biggest stories of the year this Sunday, December 28th at 8 p.m. in Our News Year in Review 2025 with host Jasmine Brown. It premieres on RTV channel 212 this Sunday and on the Our News social media pages. All right, Christmas arriving a few days early for residents that use the Seahorse Village Urban Renewal Center in Grand Bahama. Manager Alicia Burrows expressing her gratitude to Rotary Club of Grand Bahama for their recent donation. Urban Renewal Deputy Director Senator Kirkland Russell noting the donation couldn't have come at a better time as the center was just recently renovated.
I would just like to thank the Rotary Club of Grand Bahama, President Mr. Dave Mackey and his team at the Rotary Club for donating these gifts for us. We would like to give a heartfelt thank you and let you know that we have a lot of activities here and we would use these in the upcoming month.
One of the things we wanted to do, Rotary, is we wanted to really put a lot of emphasis on training in this center. We want to make this center here in Seahorse different from every center across this country. And so training is a part of the program. And so the desks and office supplies that you would have so kindly and graciously donated to us will go a long way in assisting us in setting up our programs and our training facilities for our young people as well as our seniors.
And Russell calling the donation a gesture of love, adding that the items will help make a meaningful difference in the lives of all that take advantage of the center's many offerings.
There's great needs in this community, and the government can't do it all by itself. And so it takes organizations like the Rotary and gifts like these to truly bring the kind of compassionate relief to the residents that they need and require. I am really impressed with the fact that we have such a large variety. Of course, we have so many Bahamians who live in this archipelago surrounded by water, who cannot swim. And some of your gifts are life vests. We have the water dispensers, so whether it's cold water or a hot cup of tea, these dispensers will go a long way in providing that kind of service.
All right, what a great effort. If you want to watch that story again and for all of today's top stories, you can visit ournews.bs. That's going to do it for us in News at 7. Up now, Natalia Hall. She's got the latest headlines. Natalia? Boy, you look like Christmas today.
You see my headpiece in the rug?
I just saw the headpiece.
You like it?
I love it.
Okay,
thank you. It's red.
It's Christmas
it
time,
really does
for
put me in the mind of Christmas.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I hope our audience feel the same.
Man, you may be matching the tree.
Yeah. And before we take this quick break, don't forget to stay locked into our news all month long for your shot at driving away in that brand new 2025 Hyundai Creta. It's the ultimate giveaway with Alive and Auto Mall. Just visit ournews.bs to learn how you can win. Good luck. Here are your latest headlines.
First tonight on our news at 7:30.
Several Defense Force ships are saying goodbye to the Nassau Harbor as they're being prepared to be transported to the Netherlands for repair. Stay tuned to Our News tonight for more details.
Plus, more than $20,000 worth of meat stolen from the Bahama resort tonight. 3 men are now facing charges in the case. Plus, Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell is weighing in as divisions deepen within CARICOM. His comments come amid a public back and forth between regional leaders following U.S. military strikes, visa restrictions, and a new travel ban. And later, the countdown to Christmas is on, and toy stores are feeling the pressure as parents race to check off wish lists. Retailers say a few must-have toys are standing out this season. Our Delvardo Emmanuel shows us what's flying off the shelves when our news returns.
Notes here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure and hit that follow button if you want to see more stories like this. Be sure and follow all of the Our News social media pages. And hey, don't forget, turn on your notifications so you never miss out on top stories from the team you already trust.
Holidays are coming, 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 holidays are coming. Holidays are coming, holidays are coming, holidays are coming, holidays are coming, holidays are coming.
I'm very excited, and I can't believe it. It's it's a dream come true. When she did call me yesterday about it, I didn't know what to believe. Thanks to Mr. Coleman and this whole staff for what they do, and making sure the customers are taken care of, making sure we enjoy the gaming they do give to us. Chances is the great house to play, even down to the staff, is perfect. They're going to marvel.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Have you heard about Janae's Chesapeake Road's 5 days of Christmas give back? Get up to 20% off your toys or bicycles, electronic ride-on cars, 4-wheelers, and motor tricycle purchases. All electrical item sales are final. Bring in a current year Janae's back-to-school purchase receipt, valued more than $50 excluding that, and get an additional 10% off. Restrictions apply. And don't forget the Christmas decorations ball.
Welcome to our news. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall. The Ministry of National Security is sending 3 of the Defense Forces flagships off to the Netherlands to be repaired. The world's largest submersible heavy lift ship docked in Nassau Harbor last night to receive the vessels millions of dollars to be invested in the repair process. Our Joshua Williams reports.
3 of the Royal Bahamas Defense Forces ships are set to be restored to its former glory. The Raleigh Grey, the HMBS Arthur Dion Hanna, named after a former Governor General, and the HMBS Casarilla boarded the MV Yacht Servant Sunday night for transport to the Netherlands, where they will undergo extensive repairs. National Security Minister Wayne Munro told reporters it's past due for these historic ships.
You have to maintain them properly. You have to dry dock them when they have to be dry docked. You have to run them only to the manufacturer specification. So if the endurance is 30 days, you can't send it on patrol for 60, for 14 days, 21 days, similar. They have not been necessarily run as they ought to be to manufacturer specs. Dry dockings have been missed. We've determined to correct that.
It's the world's largest purpose-built submersible transport vessel. So how does this massive ship work? The ship uses a ballast system that allows its deck to submerge, enabling vessels to float on and off with ease. Defense Force officials say the journey will also serve as a training opportunity for Bahamian officers.
The mechanics, the electrician, they will sail to the Netherlands with the patrol craft, and they will be doing some maintenance to prepare these vessels for the refit at the Diamond shipyard.
Now, this is an expensive operation, but the Commodore insists that the Defense Force and its equipment remain on the cutting edge.
Now, to bring this fleet back to optimum operability, we will need to spend in excess of about $50 million over the next 5 to 10 years. And we need to do that. That is the only way that we will accomplish our mandate.
Defense Force officials say the first vessel is expected to return within the next 4 to 6 months. Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks so much for that, Josh. Well, National Security Minister Wayne Munro says while officers do their best to prevent crime, they're also well equipped to go after criminals. His comments came after the country recorded its latest murder. Former Democratic National Alliance candidate Mario Ducky Lockhart was gunned down as he worked an event in the quiet Fort Charlotte community early this morning. When asked about the incident on the sidelines of a contract signing this morning, Munro says it's why crime preventative measures should be taken more seriously.
And these community centers relate to that. So you will have programming in them, the empowerment hour that advances there. You will have conflict resolution, anger management, which is another reason that people get killed and injured in the Bahamas. All of these programs delivered in these centers. You will have the ability to go and find somebody you can access in these centers.
But Munro insists where preventative measures fail, police are well equipped to bring those responsible to justice.
We're equipping them with practical equipment, vehicles, because they didn't have vehicles when we came to power. We're also equipping them and upping their manpower, which was run down when we came to office. So if you won't be prevented from doing foolishness, we intend to equip the Royal Bahamas Police Force to get.
Well, 3 men are facing charges after more than $20,000 worth of meat was stolen from the Bahamas resort. Bradley Bethel, D'Angelo Johnson, and Edwin McGregor are accused of committing the theft between December 9th and 10th. The men are accused of stealing hundreds of pounds of beef tenderloin, rib eye steak, veal cuts, rack of lamb, and chicken, with a total value of $20,428.36. They denied the allegations at their arraignment before Magistrate Abigail Farrington and were each granted $9,000 bail. Their trial is scheduled for May 4th, 2026. Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell weighing in on growing division within CARICOM. Mitchell comments come after Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar accused 2 fellow Caribbean leaders of triggering visa restrictions for their citizens by bad-mouthing the U.S. over American strikes on vessels in the Southern Caribbean. The U.S. military buildup, which began in September, has led to the death of at least 104 people. The U.S. claims they were drug traffickers. Antigua and Barbuda Prime Minister Gaston Brown quickly fired back with a Facebook post calling Persad-Bissessar to back her statement with facts. Last Tuesday, an executive order by the Trump administration placed Antigua and Barbuda under a restricted travel ban. The U.S. cited their citizenship by investment programs as an issue, saying their lack of residency requirements poses challenges for screening and vetting. And with the regional leaders now in a public back and forth, Mitchell says the fact of the matter isn't the first time Caribbean leaders haven't seen eye to eye.
Last week, a statement was issued by the Bureau of CARICOM to express concern about unilateral actions by the United States against 2 member states, Antigua and Barbuda and Dominica. The events that followed caused me to recirculate the speech that I made in 2014 at the University of the West Indies in Trinidad called Saving CARICOM. In it, I recall that at one point a row broke out amongst the leaders of the Conference of Heads, and they never met for 7 years. Yet the work of CARICOM continues. Thus I say, we've been there, done that, let not your hearts be troubled.
Well, windy conditions in the capital on this Monday. What will temperatures be like for the rest of the week? Are you wondering? Well, meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look. Greg, what can you tell us?
Yeah, thanks, Natalia, and happy holidays, everybody. It's pretty windy on the outside right now. Temperatures in the mid-70s, 74 degrees under partly cloudy skies. East-northeast winds at 23 miles per hour, and they're gusting much higher than that across the extreme northern islands to near gale. Feels like temperature is at 72. Satellite and radar composite, well advancing frontal boundary across the southeast Bahamas, moved through the northwest Bahamas earlier this morning. It's going to continue to push towards the southeast. Should get into the southeast Bahamas by tonight. Behind that, a very tight pressure gradient generating some very strong winds. So we have a gale warning for most of the northwest and central Bahamas, and the near gale warning will continue through the southeast Bahamas. Also a wind advisory. Boating and beaching not advised for the next couple of days. That's a quick check on conditions around the islands. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on our news, toy stores are feeling the pressure this Christmas season as parents race to check off wish lists. Retailers say a few must-have toys are standing out this season. Our Delvardo Emmanuel shows us what's flying off the shelves. Also, the heat is already building at the Bahamas Resort as preparations ramped up for their New Year's Eve spectacular. From a taste of Bahamas to a performance by artist Sean Paul. And that's all coming up when our news returns.
Heard about Janae's Chesapeake Road's 5 days of Christmas give back? Get up to 20% off your toys or bicycles, electronic ride-on cars, four-wheelers, and motor tricycle purchases. All electrical item sales are final. Bring in a current year Janae's back-to-school purchase receipt, valued more than $50 excluding VAT, and get an additional 10% off. Restrictions apply. And don't forget the Christmas decorations, balls, and ornaments. Janae's Chesapeake Road's 5 days of Christmas give back going on now. Extended store hours till 7 p.m. Hurry in and get more bang for your bucks.
It's Christmas, come again. Time for color, family and friends. Red and green, the perfect pair. For a season so sincere. Baby Jesus in a manger. Loved ones who once were perfect strangers. At the same place, coloring supreme. Let us bring to life your Christmas dreams.
Welcome to Paradise Games, where exceptional service meets the ultimate gaming experience. Our dedicated team is here to make every visit a win.
Now this is paradise.
This is more than just a place to play.
Now this is paradise.
It's where excitement meets world-class service.
Now this is paradise.
Now this is paradise.
Come, experience it for yourself. Now this is paradise.
Your home is your sanctuary. The last thing you need to worry about is rodents. Once they enter your property, they can be tough to get out. If you're concerned about rodents, call Rent-A-Kill Initial. We offer the latest, most effective treatment for safe, fast, and long-lasting results. From prevention to elimination, our integrated approach guarantees protection. For rodent control you can trust, there's only one name in the Bahamas: Rent-A-Kill Initial.
Dance with me. Dance with me.
The countdown to Christmas is on, and toy stores are feeling the rush. As parents work to check off those wish lists, retailers say a few must-have toys are standing out this season. Our news Delvardo Emmanuel takes us inside one popular store to see what's flying off the shelves.
With Christmas just days away, the pressure is on for parents trying to make sure Santa delivers. 2 classic family games and the latest gadgets. Stores across the capital are seeing a last-minute rush as shoppers hunt for the perfect gift. At Janae's Christmas Wonderland, the aisles are packed and the wish lists are long. Store manager Martha Wallace says several toys are clearly standing out this holiday season.
They like these Jeeps you see behind us, and the bicycles, the gasoline ride-ons. These are the most popular sellers this year.
Wallace says the steady flow of customers shows parents are determined to stretch their dollars while still putting smiles on their children's faces on Christmas morning. She says competitive pricing has helped keep shoppers coming through the doors.
We did our Crazy Monday for a full month of November, so we had up to 40% off. So those persons were shopping early. They were really shopping early this year. But of course, government payday just gone the other day, so we're getting those customers in now.
But it's not just about flashy toys. Wallace says many families are also focused on gifts that bring everyone together.
You can get a 16-inch bicycle for $118. A nice ride-on car for $240. You're cooking with gas.
And talk about all the stuff you have here today.
Oh, we have toys for every age. We have the bicycles. We have 26-inch right down to the 16-inch. And we have the gasoline bicycles. We have the four-wheelers, the ride-ons. We have these nice Jeeps, I wish I could fit in, especially look at that limousine. I wish I can fit in that.
Well, it's safe to say Janae's Christmas Wonderland is the place to be to get all of your holiday items. Reporting for Our News, I'm Naval Emmanuel.
Coming up in sports, we start on the tennis court where 2 new champions were crowned at the Giorgio Baldacci Nationals. Pro hoopers continue to get it done in Europe, and in women's hoops, a win streak continues and a new career high.
Dance with me. Dance with me. Dance all night long.
That's it, lightning. Goes up is frightening. Born to be exciting. Now I'm so rich, I'm born to be exciting. That's it, lightning. Goes up is frightening. Born to be exciting. Now I'm so rich.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them blue for me and you. And I say to myself, what a wonderful Somewhere sponsor got it going on, yeah. Somewhere sponsor will stop shopping here. In the family, community, for me. Southwest Plaza, come shop with us. Shop, shop, we've got some in store. Shop, shop, our prices are right. Come spend the day, bring the family. Southwest Plaza, come shop with us.
Whether you're battling a chronic condition or offsetting a new injury, Doctors Hospital's comprehensive rehab services offer the help you need now.
Go to doctors.
3 advanced facilities at Collins Avenue, Carmichael Road, in Cable Beach means your personalized plan for care is just a visit away. From physiotherapy to occupational therapy and speech and language pathology, our team approach is all about rebuilding together. For a full list of services, visit doctorshosp.com/rehabilitation. Doctors Hospital, trusted and best care now. Isn't your health worth it?
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Mark Nutt. Let's do show. A pair of new champions were crowned at the Giorgio Baldacci Open Nationals to conclude an exciting 2025 for the Bahamas Lawn Tennis Association. In the men's draw, Gerald Carroll defeated Michael Major Jr. in straight sets 7-5, 6-love to win his first title at the senior level. Carroll, who is headed to the University of Louisville, controlled the final after a tight opening set. Major, the second seed, currently competes for Howard University and finished as the runner-up for the second consecutive year. Carroll's title run included a semi-final win over top-seeded defending champion Denali Nordich 6-2, 6-4, while Major advanced by beating fourth-seeded Jackson McTaggart 7-5, 7-5.
The last time I lost him, that I played him, it was a year and a half ago, but still it was like, I want to come out and show him that I'm here for the first set. I wanted to start off strong and show him that I'm not going to miss. I'm not going to give him the free points. And that helped. That stayed solid for me. And I got the chances. I gave some chances, but I stayed solid, persevered, and I came out with the win.
In the women's draw, second-seeded Simone Pratt reclaimed the national title she last won 2 years ago when she defeated 14-year-old Addison Monroe in straight sets 6-3, 6-4. Monroe was the breakout star of the tournament, with the biggest upset on Saturday when she eliminated 3-time champ Sydney Clark in the semis. She won 6-3, love 6, 7-5 to snap Clark's streak of 6 straight championship appearances. In the third place matches, Nordich defeated McTaggart 6-3, 6-1 on the men's side, while Clark claimed third via walkover over Sapphire Ferguson in the women's draw.
Dominic Bridgewater and Rashad Davis had season-high outings over the weekend as their teams continue a push toward the postseason. In the NM1 League, Bridgewater poured in 25 points and a season-high 10 assists to lead Falls Basket to a 111-98 win over St. Valier. The star point guard shot 6 for 15 from the field and went 13 of 16 from the free throw line. Bridgewater has surged in December, averaging 25 points per game, scoring 20 or more in 4 straight games for the first time this season. Meanwhile, in Pro B, Rashad Davis finished with 16 points and 7 rebounds in the Colorado's loss to Toulon. Davis has re-entered the starting lineup over the last 3 games and has elevated his play, averaging 17 points and 6 rebounds during that stretch.
Coach Young and Ole Miss continued to dominate their non-conference schedule, while Antonisha Moultrie got her shot and made the most of it. 14th ranked Ole Miss opened play at the Cherokee Invitational with an 86-57 win over Old Dominion in Cherokee, North Carolina. With the win, they improved to 12-1 and advanced to the championship, where they will face number 24 Michigan State tonight. Meanwhile, the Ohio Bobcats fell to St. Louis 80-74 despite a career night from Moultrie. She scored 15, knocked down 3 threes, and added 6 rebounds, 3 steals, and 2 blocks in a career-high 29 minutes. Moultrie transitioned to D1 after 2 years at Garden City Community College, where she averaged 10 points and 10 boards per game. That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. I may be done with football. I cannot be more disappointed than I was in the Lions and the Ravens on the same night.
That's not the lead. The lead is the championship went through me in tennis.
We know what the lead was. They watched the news. All right, back to the studio.
Still ahead on our news tonight, the heat is already building at the Bahamas Resort as preparations ramp up for their New Year's Eve spectacular. From a taste of Bahamas to a performance by artist Sean Paul. And Greg is back with the extended weather when our news returns. Stay with us.
It's Christmas, come again. Time for color, family and friends. Red and green, the perfect pair. For a season so sincere. Baby Jesus in a manger. Loved ones who once were perfect strangers. At the same place, coloring supreme. Let us bring to life your Christmas dreams.
Somewhere's was a CARICOM and US. Somewhere's was a one-stop shop in his hair. The family, community, for me. Southwest Plaza, come shop with us. Shop, shop, we've got so many stores. Shop, shop, prices are right. Come spend the day, bring the family. Southwest Plaza, come shop with us.
It only takes a second for things to go wrong. Are you prepared? Don't become a statistic. Follow these simple rules. Leave early, obey road signs, wear seatbelts, invest in hands-free devices, and don't drink and drive. I'm Inspector Gerard Cum of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, reminding you that road safety is no accident.
The future of energy in the Bahamas is changing, and renewable energy is leading the way. At Inti Corporation, we're proud to be a part of that change as a Bahamian-led engineering, procurement, and construction company focused on building smarter, more sustainable solutions. Whether it's through our work with the government of the Bahamas and private sector partners, or our push to bring solar and other renewable systems to more communities, we're helping to push the envelope on national energy goals.
NT supports and shows me that we all have a part to play, no matter how small. Something as simple as turning off unused lights can help reduce our impact on the environment. At NT, they remind us that every action counts. And with young people and the government both stepping up, it feels possible.
And it's not just talk. They're opening doors for Bahamians to train and work in renewable energy, no matter your background, proving that the key to sustainability is the sharing of knowledge. We are the future, and we take flight with INTI.
This is our news. Welcome back. We have a frontal boundary now across the central Bahamas, generating a few isolated showers along its boundary, continuing to push towards the southeast. Should move into the southeast overnight. Behind that, a tight pressure gradient generating some hazardous boating and beaching. So we're asking you boaters and you beachgoers to stay out of the waters for the next couple of days, as we have gale warnings in effect for the northwest and central Bahamas, and near gale warning will be in effect for the southeast Bahamas once that boundary goes through and the high pressure builds across that area. We also have a wind advisory for wind speeds over 30 miles per hour. So we're asking you if you're driving along the coastal roads as well, or if you have some high vehicles, that could pose a problem if you're on the streets. Wide look, we do expect another weak of frontal boundary to drop into the northwest Bahamas. Not much weather associated with that. That frontal boundary is generating just a couple of clouds across the southeast United States. We expect a reinforcing short of cooler air mass once that frontal boundary goes through. Future forecast showing the moisture with the boundary moving through the central Bahamas, pushing towards the southeast. That should get overnight tonight and into tomorrow. Behind that, once again, high pressure will be the dominant weather feature, and that will take us through midweek before we see another weaker front boundary get into our area. Boating forecast, small craft operators, we're asking you to remain in port. Beachgoers, stay out of the waters. Very high risk of rip currents out there. Northeast to east winds at 20 to 25 knots, spreading across the entire chain, and those winds will gust to near gale across most of the island chain. 5 to 8 foot seas expected, but up to 12 feet in some northeast to easterly swells, and that will be mainly along the Atlantic exposures. High tide is at 9:21 tonight. Low tide takes place at 3:19 tomorrow morning. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, lovely conditions but breezy tomorrow. That should take us into Wednesday. That's Christmas Eve, and then of course Thursday is Christmas Day. Temperatures will be warm, 81 degrees expected during the daytime hours, so John Canoe should be fine. Not expecting much in terms of any rainfall, but the rest of the week looks pretty nice. Then we expect another front by the end of the week into early next week. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
All right, thanks so much for that, Greg. Well, the temperature is already heating up at the Bahamas Resort as they prepare for their New Year's Eve spectacular. The soiree will feature the resort's signature event, A Taste of Bahamar, along with a performance by Spotify's most streamed dancehall artist of 2025, Sean Paul. Our Daniel Miller has the story.
Yeah, but it sounds like Bahamas, like we're going to Mars on New Year's Eve, like we are going to very far away.
That was music icon Sean Paul, sharing his excitement ahead of his upcoming performance at the Bahamas Resort's New Year's Eve Spectacular. Paul, who was crowned by Spotify as the most streamed dancehall artist of 2025, is widely recognized for his global impact and influence. First bursting onto the scene in 1996, Sean Paul became a household name with the release of his Dirty Rock album in 2002, a project that helped bring dancehall music to a global audience.
That album has one of my favorite songs on it, and that's Punky.
Hey.
And then, of course, that album also had Gimme the Lights and Make It Clap.
Yeah.
And Get Busy.
Like
glue.
And despite his international success, Sean Paul says one of his biggest challenges was ensuring corporate America did not strip away his raw Jamaican culture.
But in the mainstream America, sometimes the companies, they sign these artists and them kind of want to put you in a cookie cutter situation where, you have the same stylist as one of these rappers, and they put you on the same type of shows. They kind of take the same pictures of you. They put you in the same type of video. And it doesn't always translate or work, Caribbean people have a little difference to us.
With nearly 30 years in the business and more than 15 billion streams, the Grammy Award-winning artist says it has been an honor to share his rich Caribbean heritage with the world.
That's an awesome feeling. I have to just give thanks for that.
Now, Sean Paul will headline Bahamas New Year's Eve Spectacular on December 31st, ringing in 2026 with music, culture, and celebration. Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller.
Thanks so much for that, Danny. Well, 2025 is quickly drawing to a close, and over the past 12 months, many stories gripped the nation. From the death of a sitting member of parliament to a heated by-election and massive protests in the busy downtown district that saw the government at odds with unions. And who can forget the wildfires that ravaged the Family Islands and the late-night blaze that left dozens of the Victoria Court residents homeless? There was no shortage of drama this year, but there were also moments that inspired the nation and brought hope to islands like Grand Bahama, where several investment projects finally got off the ground. You can take a look back at the biggest stories of the year this Sunday, December 28th at 8 p.m. when Our News Year in Review 2025 with host Jasmine Brown premieres on Our TV channel 212 and on the Our News social media pages. All right, I look forward to watching that, and you can tune in on Sunday as we mentioned. And with that, we thank you so much for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.